Good morning, friends. Today we are going to be talking about story setting. So our objective today is the student will identify the setting of the story. Our learning objective will be the student will identify and describe the story orally and create a drawing of their favorite part of the story. So today we're going to read about a bat named Stella Luna, okay? And some key vocabulary words that I want y'all to pay attention to today would be nighttime, and I have it right here. Nighttime. What do we think nighttime is? Yes, when it's dark outside. Very good. Okay, another vocabulary word would be sky. What is the sky? Yes, it's where birds fly and bats fly, and we look up at the stars at night and see the sky, and during the day we see the sun out in the sky. Very good. Okay, and bats. What are bats? Very good. Black mammals that sleep during the day and they fly during the night. What is the setting? Very good. It's where the story takes place. Yes. And seasons. We have fall, winter, summer, and spring, different seasons. And the time of day, we could have morning, we could have afternoon, we could have nighttime. So those are the time of days, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is talk about setting. Tell me some settings that you have been in. Where, like different places you go with your parents. Yes, you go to the grocery store, to the post office, to the mall. Very good. Those are different settings. So, have you ever been to a forest? We have forests all around us here in Houston. So tell me about it. There's green trees. Very good. Tall trees, green. Very good. Okay, and you've been outdoors. Y'all play outdoors every day probably. So tell me about that. Very good. When you play outdoors, what do you smell? Fresh air. What do you see? Trees and grass. Very good. All right. So today's story of Stella Luna takes place outside, okay, in different settings, okay, outside. So I want y'all to be aware of that when we're reading the book, okay? So after we read the story, you're going to practice identifying different settings of that are familiar to you in the story, okay? So be listening to the different settings in the Stella Luna book, okay, of where different settings take place, okay? We already went over key and vocabulary terms. So be listening for nighttime, sky, bats, setting, seasons, and time. Be looking for that, okay? So I'm going to read this Stella Luna, the book, and we're going to answer some questions afterwards. So Stella Luna by Janelle Cannon. In a warm and sultry forest, far, far away, there was once lives a mother fruit bat and her new baby. Oh, how Mother Bat loved her soft, tiny baby. I'll name you Stella Luna, she crooned. Each night, Mother Bat would carry Stella Luna clutched to her breast as she flew out to search for food. One night, as Mother Bat followed the heavy scent of ripe fruit, an owl spied her. On silent wings, the powerful bird swooped upon the bats. Dodging and shrieking, Mother Bat tried to escape, but the owl struck her again and again, knocking Stella Luna into the air. Her baby wings were as limp and useless as a wet paper. Down, down she went, faster and faster into the forest below. The dark leafy tangle of branches caught Stella Luna as she fell. One twig was small enough for Stella Luna's tiny feet. Wrapping her wings about her, she clutched the thin branch, trembling with cold and fear. Mother, Stella Luna squeaked, where are you? By daybreak, the baby bat could hold on no longer. Down, down, again she dropped. Flump! Stella Luna landed headfirst in a soft, downy nest, startling the 3 baby birds who lived there. Stella Luna quickly clambered from the nest and hung out of sight below it. She listened to the babble of the 3 birds. "What was that?" cried Flap. "I don't know, but it's hanging by its feet," chirped Flitter. "Shh, here comes Mama," hissed Pip. Many, many times that day, Mama Bird flew away, always returning with food for her babies. Stella Luna was terribly hungry, but not for the crawly things Mama Bird brought. Finally, though, the little bat could bear it no longer. She climbed into the nest, closed her eyes, and opened her mouth. Flop! In dropped a big green grasshopper. Stella Luna learned to be like the birds. She stayed awake all day and slept all night. She ate bugs even though they tasted awful. Her bat ways were quickly disappearing. Except for one thing. Stella Luna liked to sleep hanging by her feet. Once when Mama was away, the curious birds decided to try it too. When Mama Bird came home, she saw 8 tiny feet gripping the edge of the nest. "Eek!" she cried. "Get back up here this instant. You're going to fall and break your necks." The birds clambered back into the nest, but Mama Bird stopped Stella Luna. "You are teaching my children to do bad things. I will not let you back into this nest unless you promise to obey all the rules of this house." Stella Luna promised. She ate bugs without making faces. She slept in the nest at night, and she didn't hang by her feet. Stella Luna behaved as a good bird should. All the babies grew up quickly. Soon the nest became crowded. Mama Bird told them it was time to learn to fly. One by one, Pip, Flitter, Flap, and Stella Luna jumped from the nest. Their wings worked. "I'm just like them," thought Stella Luna. "I can fly too." Pip, Flitter, and Flap landed gracefully on a branch. Stella Luna tried to do the same. "How embarrassing!" "I will fly all day," Stella Luna told herself. "Then no one will see how clumsy I am." The next day, Pip, Flitter, Flap, and Stella Luna went flying far from home. They flew for hours, exercising their new wings. "The sun is setting," warned Flitter. "We had better go home, and we will get lost in the dark," said Flap. But Stella Luna had flown far ahead and was nowhere to be seen. The 3 anxious birds went home without her. All alone, Stella Luna flew and flew until her wings ached and she dropped into a tree. "I promised not to hang by my feet," Stella Luna sighed, so she hung by her thumbs and soon fell asleep. She didn't hear the soft sound of wings coming near. "Hey," a loud voice said, "why are you hanging upside down?" Stella Luna's eyes opened wide. She saw a most peculiar face. "I'm not upside down. You are," Stella Luna said. "Ah, but you're a bat. Bats hang by their feet. You are hanging by your thumbs. So that makes you upside down," the creature said. "I'm a bat? I'm hanging by my feet? That makes me right side up." Stella Luna was confused. Mama Bird told me I was upside down. She said I was wrong. Wrong for a bird, maybe, but not for a bat. More bats gathered around to see the strange young bat who behaved like a bird. Stella Luna told them her story. "You ate bugs?" stuttered one. "You slept at night?" gasped another. "How very strange," they all murmured. Wait, let me look at this child." A bat pushed through the crowd. "An owl attacked you?" she asked. Sniffing Stella Luna's fur, she whispered, "You are Stella Luna. You are my baby." "You escaped the owl," cried Stella Luna. "You survived." "Yes," said Mother Bat as she wrapped her wings around Stella Luna. "Come with me. I'll show you where to find the most delicious fruit You'll never have to eat another bug as long as you live. But it's nighttime, Stella Luna squeaked. We can't fly in the dark or we will crash into trees. We're bats, said Mother Bat. We can see in the darkness. Come with us. Stella Luna was afraid, but she let go of the tree and dropped into the deep blue sky. Stella Luna could see. She felt as though rays of light shone from her eyes. She was able to see everything in her path. Soon the bats found a mango tree, and Stella Luna ate as much as the fruit as she could hold. I'll never eat another bug as long as I live, cheered Stella Luna as she stuffed herself full. I must tell Pip, Flitter, and Flap. The next day, Stella Luna went to visit the birds. Come with me and meet my bat family, said Stella Luna. Okay, let's go, agreed Pip. They hang by their feet. They fly at night, and they eat the best food in the world, Stella Luna explained to the birds on the way. As the birds flew among the bats, Flap said, I feel upside down here. So the birds hung by their feet. Wait until dark, Stella Luna said excitedly. We will fly at night. When night came, Stella Luna flew away. Pip, Flitter, and Flap leaped from the tree to follow her. I can't see a thing, yelled Pip. Neither can I, howled Flitter. Aye, shrieked Flap. They're going to crash, gasped Stella Luna. I must rescue them. Stella Luna swooped about, grabbing her friends in the air. She lifted them to a tree, and the birds grasped a branch. Stella Luna hung from the limb above them. We're safe, said Stella Luna. Then she sighed. I wish you could see in the dark, too. We wish you could land on your feet, Flitter replied. Pip and Flap nodded. They perched in silence for a long time. How can we be so different and feel so much alike, mused Flitter. And how can we feel so different and be so much alike? Wondered Pip. I think this is quite a mystery, Flap chirped. I agree, said Stella Luna, but we're friends, and that's a fact. So tell me what you think about the story. Yes, you can be friends and be very different. That's correct. The birds and the bats were very different, yet they were so much alike. Okay? Very good. All right. So, what are some things that you see in some of these pictures? So, we see bats flying around in the sky. We see a blue sky. Bats flying around. We see bats hanging from tree branches. Very good. So that's a setting, hanging from tree branches. We see Stella Luna in the nest with other birds in this picture. So the setting would be, she'd be in the nest, setting in the nest with the other birds. Very good. So what we're going to do is I'm going to give you 3 choices to identify the location of the setting. So where does the setting of Stella Luna take place? Is it a farm, a sky, or in a school? Very good. In the sky for the most part. Very good. Okay. Name and describe the setting. So name and describe one of the settings. So I'm going to turn to a page and you're going to tell me what you see. Very good. You see a nest and birds hanging down. Well, birds hanging and one bat hanging. And mother bird is yelling because she was afraid they were going to break their necks. So yes, they're sitting in a nest in a tree. Very good. That's a setting. Okay. And what did the book make you think about? Yes, that you can have many friendships and still be, or you can be different and still have, be friends with different people that don't look like you and don't act like you. Very good. Good. Okay, so for the next practice, what we're going to do is we're going to have a anchor chart right here, and I'm going to tell I'm going to tell y'all some sentences, and you're going to fill in the blank for me. So the first sentence is here's the word bank. So you can use tree, forest, sky, or nest at each blank. So in a warm and sultry blank, far, far away, there once lived a mother fruit bat and her new baby. What word are we missing in there? In a warm and sultry tree, far, far away, there once lived a mother fruit. No, I don't think that's it. In a warm and sultry forest far, far away, there once lived a mother fruit and her new baby. Okay, that could be it, possibly. Let's go to the next one. In a warm and sultry sky far, far away, there once lived a mother and a fruit. That doesn't really make sense either. In a warm and sultry nest far, far away, there once lived a mother fruit and a bat and her baby. You're right. I think it's forest. So we're going to put forest right here. Very good. Okay. Number 2. Flump. Stella Luna landed headfirst in a soft, downy tree, startling the 3 baby birds who lived there. Maybe. Okay, we've already used forest. Flump. Stella Luna landed headfirst in a soft, downy sky, startling the 3 baby birds who lived there. Doesn't make sense. Flump. Stella Luna landed headfirst in a soft, downy nest, startling the 3 baby birds who lived there. Yeah, because birds live in nest. Very good. So we can put nest right here. Very good. All alone, Stella Luna flew until her wings ached and she dropped into a tree. Or all alone, Stella Luna flew until her wings ached and she dropped into a sky. Very good. Tree. Okay, so we can mark that one out. Stella Luna was afraid, but she let go of the tree and dropped into the deep blue sky. Very good. Okay, so for your next activity, I want you to draw me a picture of your favorite part of the story, and you're going to describe in 2 to 3 sentences your favorite setting of the story or your favorite part of the story. Okay, so do that and I will be glad to pick those up, and y'all did very good. Thank you.